years ago, I had a workplace accident, and I ended up with nerve pain and nerve damage from the fall in the pelvis area. And I was rushed to the Gold Coast Hospital and spent 4 days. After the injury that I had, I struggled with chronic pain, chronic inflammation, and infection for many, many, many years. And I struggled with that. Anyway, in the last 8 years, I've really gotten well. I've been lucky enough to, make such, I've come such a long way in sort of my health and wellness that I'm now walking and all that sort of stuff. But spiritually, and I was disconnected, and I had a lot of sensations still that that weren't serving me. I needed to actually get connected and really get the flow going. And I still use a catheter to this day, and it's been a long, arduous journey. And I've disconnected because I've also been I got divorced in 2009, so having that side of me was very neglected. And so the reason I got in touch with you was because I had seen on your website and listening to the recordings that were there that you had actually given people that connection, to be able to make that connection. And then when there was a lot of things on your website that resonated with me, because I did have an experience previously where someone was just offering sort of a ludicrous solution, a quick fix, so to speak, which would not have helped me and left me with an awful amount of guilt. I think what I really needed was someone to start with the basics of me reconnecting back with my upper and lower half. What I found was, like, I haven't had pain in my bladder. I've had to really disconnect from my lower half. And during the session, I actually got quite prickly. It was like a prickly pain in there, sort of almost like a pins and needles that you would get after your leg falls asleep. And I went to the bathroom, and and continuing on with what you taught me to do, and to stay connected through my breathing and that sort of thing, which I did on the toilet, was such a connection to my sort of my top half and my lower half. There's all around my pelvis, and all of that sort of part of me was like a void, and I sort of never even went in there. Like, if I did a meditation, I'd go to my heart, or I'd go to the solar plexus or whatever. But I think I sort of always avoided that, because I think I wasn't ready for whatever reason, to move on. But going and having that experience of that deep connection instantly brought me to tears, and I was very grateful for that. I just felt an opening of a connection and an energy flow that was not threatening at all. It was absolutely beautiful. Like, you always think that these sort of things are going to be resistant because it's pain, and it's a whole lot of awful memories, and just a lot of old baggage is going to come up, and it's just fear, which is you resist. But what you did was, you've done with such laughter. The laughter is key, and with such laughter, and I'm actually really, it's not like you doing something for me, it's actually you showing me how to do it for myself, and that's what is incredible. That was, so I now have the tools to continue on doing what you've shown me to, and I'm absolutely feeling completely different from when you arrived this morning to you leaving this afternoon. Has it's completely changed how I will now go forth and for the rest of my life. So I needed this as a strong foundation to build on, because no matter what I did, if I hadn't got this right, everything would keep repeating, the same old patterns and the same, just different faces. Do you know what I mean? Different places. The same stuff would keep coming up, and I'm really keen to see how this bladder thing plays out now, because I've not had this happen. I haven't had a connection like that to that part of myself, and so thank you for that. That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Everybody showed me what was wrong, but they had either a drug for it, or an injection, or a therapy of some sort, and it was always ended in pain or tears or squashed hopes, and because it would leave me more depressed, because depression was a big thing that I had fought as well, and so they always focused on the problems and everything that was negative, whereas you just came in with what we could do. We didn't focus on any of that, and I got more out of today than I have in 8 years of or 7 years of doctors and therapies and all that sort of stuff. I got actually connected with my body to parts. I sort of spent a little time in Brazil recently, and I realised that this is a big hurdle for me. It was obviously something I needed to look at, because it came up very clearly, and it was a big obstacle for me. But I needed someone who had your philosophy in let's do it with laughter and joy, and bring happiness to it, as opposed to, as you said, you're going to spend 30 seconds on anything that's negative. It will be gone, because you are sending it off with such love. You dissolve it with love, which is, well, what more do you want?
Makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
It does, and it's obviously it's worked. So, because I feel absolutely incredible, and I don't want to go back to the disconnection that I had. I've avoided it for so long because I thought it was going to be painful, as it had previously been shown to me by other people. And I had my pelvis had actually separated in a fall, and the nerve damage and the pain that was surrounding that was incredible, and I sort of ended up with lower back pain, and then because I couldn't walk because of the pain, and any sort of pain. I couldn't really lift myself out of bed, so I was bedridden for ages. Then if I tried to get around, I had a wheelchair and a walker. I had toilet chair, I had a shower chair. This house was set up for, as you can see, it's got wide halls and the flat surfaces in the shower I can wheel into, because it was set up for a disabled person. And then you can imagine I put on a lot of weight as well with the depression and everything. I mean, I wasn't even in charge of cooking or anything like that. I wasn't in charge of what I ate. But that it was it took away my independence, basically. And that's when the depression started, and the anxiety and all that sort of stuff. Ended up being housebound from that, and my kids became my carers, so that was pretty sad. And then after that I struggled with I sort of wanted to work on myself to become a better person, and sort of not keep fighting, and because doctors and all that sort of stuff, as you were saying earlier, they make you hate and make you angry, and they tell you how you should be, and I didn't want to be like that anymore. I sort of wanted to be I wanted to be more happy in myself. But how could I do that if I didn't even love myself? And then how can you do that without connection to self? And and that's what I needed to find. And I have found it today. Absolutely, I've made gone ahead in leaps and bounds, made huge strides today, which has been amazing, because I feel incredible. And you can just tell, it looks like I've had a facelift. My eyes are big. And I haven't felt this good in a long time. I mean, when I became well about 18 months ago, on spirituality, otherwise it's just another aspect. Like the same things will keep coming up again if you don't actually
if you don't do all of the work, and I was neglecting that part of me, thinking, you know, it will be something that's you know, I don't need it. I just, you know, that's fine. And now, yeah, with you, you've turned the light on. You know, let the love in, which has been amazing. It's been a really, really beautiful experience today. Thank you.
Feels great to put it on record too, doesn't it?